Hey everybody, welcome to Shoptalk with TNT. I'm Trent and Tadd, Farmers Insurance and Tadd Agency.
I'm Tadd Peterson with LakePlace.com, Brothers Realty.
And today we are at, 3 or 4 different, 5, 6, 7 different businesses. We are at Midwest Injection and Fabricating, CTR LLC, Maassen Brothers Farm, or Maassen Bros Farm, sorry, Brothers was taken, and then Maassen Farming. So we have Loren here, who's the dad to Colton, Austin, and we don't know where Mitchell is, but he's also one of the sons. So it's going to be a little bit different today, a little bit different format. You know, we're in northern Wisconsin, so it's pretty typical that people have multiple businesses that they run throughout the years and throughout the season. So I guess the first question to you, Loren, is how you guys got to Wisconsin, because you were originally from Washington, correct?
Correct. So we loaded up lock, stock, and barrel, and June 1 of 1996, we moved all the cattle, equipment, and everything from Linden, Washington, all the way right here to Turtle Lake, Wisconsin.
So you guys were dairy farmers in Washington.
Correct. Yep.
And for whatever reason, you could explain it if you want, you decided you wanted to get out of Washington, and you picked Turtle Lake, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was in Washington. You had to get bigger, and we were already at 200 cows with 4 people working our butts off. So we decided, what better place to go than Wisconsin, where you just kick the cow up and put the machine on her and start milking. And which now it's changed.
When you say that lasted for 6 months?
Yep.
Let's build a parlor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, install a parlor, and a year later sell out. Anyway. But no, Carol, my mother-in-law, who has passed now, unfortunately, but she was actually from the Crandon area.
Oh,
Okay.
And they came to visit some relatives, and Roy and Gina Grew had moved up here like 2 years ahead of that. So they said, let's go up and see them and just check out the area. And they fell in love with the area, and so in January, the best month of the year for Wisconsin, she sent Kathy and I up here, and we got to driving around, and we fell in love with the area. And
I guess I don't even know the answer to this question. Did you guys look at a lot of different farms, or did you just find the one you bought?
No, we did look at a lot of different farms. We came back a couple more times and checked farms out and checked out different areas from here. And yeah, we probably looked at 20 different farms.
Okay. And what did you like about? Did you like Turtle Lake, or did you like the farm? I mean, was it which one, or was it?
It was more so the farm, because there was 2 really nice houses on it.
Oh well, yeah, I guess yeah. Because
And
you were married and had one knucklehead.
Yep.
And then it was your mother and father-in-law moving too. So Dave and Carol, they were retired though, correct?
No, they were still farming at that time.
But Dave had worked prior to farming.
Yes, he was a cement truck driver.
Okay.
And he had retired from that, and then went to farming.
And that move was not an easy thing either.
No, would not recommend moving. What was it, 125 head of cattle?
1,800 miles.
1,800 miles.
And you guys stopped and milked them along the way?
Yep, me and my brother-in-law, we took off on a Tuesday morning with the cows. And
you two had all of them?
No,
Big trailer.
we had.
I was gonna say it sounded.
We had 3 pot trucks.
Okay.
And we followed them, and then we got in Montana, unloaded everything, milked them.
And that was planned, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We planned that all ahead.
Yep.
Where did you milk? Like, where did you just side of the roadway? Stop.
That's the truck stop.
Yeah,
We just
pulled in.
one at a time by hand.
Just kept pulling them, I guess, until we're all done.
No, Roy Grew, he came out 2 years ahead of that, so he had a number of a guy where he milked his cows. Well, that guy was done with cattle. He didn't have any milking equipment left, but he said the neighbor down the road just sold out.
Okay.
So it worked out perfect. We just got a hold of that guy.
And
we lost 2 cows there, but
Just from stress of
Yeah.
being in a trailer and then getting off and
Yep. So, and then we slept for about 8 hours and loaded everything up. And the worst part about that whole scene was it just downpoured rain just before we loaded up the cows. His barn was down in a hole. So he got 3 or 4 neighbors to bring their trailers over. We loaded them in little trailers, backed up to the pot bellies, and then loaded them up. Oh, it was a nightmare. So
I'm glad I was one and don't remember that.
yeah, I was in high school, so I remember it was like the circus was coming to town when you guys were pulling in.
Yep.
All these trucks and we knew something was happening, but we
it
didn't
was
know what.
9:00 at night we pulled in.
Yep.
And the other funny part of that was, so we get to Turtle Lake, trucks pull off to the side of the road, and the lead guy comes up to me and says, "Well, where's your farm at?" I don't know. So we found a phone booth because that was kind of, cell phones were just coming out, but I didn't have one. I still barely know how to use one. And tried calling the Buzzwits, no answer. They knew we were coming, but there was no answer. It's like, oh, shoot. So me and my brother-in-law, we just took off and came up 63. And I says, it's starting to look familiar. So we turned up on 18th. Well, and then 18th goes right into 3rd Street. I'll turn right there. So, and we're just cruising down the road, and it's kind of silent. And all of a sudden I look off to the west. I'm going, hey, there's silos there. Lights are on in the barn. I go, pull down this road here. And he pulled down the road, and sure enough, that was the place.
That was before GPS and
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So-
and you were 1.
Yeah, 1.5.
Okay.
So I don't remember. any
Probably
of it.
slept the whole way.
Probably.
He was about the same age that I was when we moved from Iowa to Washington State.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
So when you have your first kid, actually, don't talk to Colton about that. When Austin has his first kid, which state are you going to?
Yeah, right. I don't know.
It's Iowa or Washington.
You get your choices.
That's all I
Full
have.
circle.
Yeah. So Colton, since Colton's the oldest, we're gonna kind of transition into figuring out what Colton's tractor repair is, or CTR as short. And Colton, he graduated in 2013 from Turtle Lake.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have a good memory.
Thank you. So he graduated in 2013. Did you start the business right out of high school, or did you
Nope.
wait a couple of years? Or
I mean, why didn't you start it?
That's a good question. No, so what I did was I knew I always wanted to be some sort of mechanic because ever since I could turn a wrench, I was fiddling with my bike or scooter or whatever I had. So I got accepted into WITC. Well, now it's
Northwoods Tech.
yeah, I probably can't say WITC anymore, but so yeah, I got accepted into that diesel program they had there. So I did 2 years of that, and at the same time I was doing an internship at Frontier Egg.
Okay.
So I was kind of going to school and working at the same time. And then I graduated that, and I got a full-time job at Frontier Egg and Turf. Worked there for about 5.5, 6 years. And Dad, was getting bigger in the manure pumping business, and I kind of always wanted to do that. So I was like, well, we got a shop here. Why don't I start, fixing some tractors kind of on the side, know? And it just exploded. I mean, my phone never stops ringing, it seems like, And so yeah, no, it's been really good. There's a lot of headaches with doing it on your own because you're kind of the service manager, the boss, and
You're the marketing department.
Yeah.
You're the accounting department.
invoice, whatever, parts ordering. So definitely learn a lot, even about yourself running something like that. But
And we got a good rapport of farmers in this area that
yes, we do.
they like to talk.
Which you guys, kind of compliment each other because you in the shop are doing like metal fabricating, correct?
Correct.
And manure injection.
Yep.
So you guys can, if you need help with a project, I'm sure he helps
Yep,
you.
and vice versa.
yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Just for example, here today or yesterday, I was taking axles off a tractor. Well, you can't do that by yourself. That's pretty heavy.
Colton, you're pretty strong.
I can do it.
But no, yes, it goes both ways, and then Dad will need help lifting something or trying to get something set up right. So yeah, and it's worked out pretty good.
And are you guys partners in the manure injection, or is that your gig? They work for you.
That's still my gig.
Okay.
Yeah. Slowly we'll start.
Yeah.
We got to figure that out yet.
Got to think about
trying
retirement.
to put this all in we're jumping around a little bit here, but so then Austin, when you graduated 3 years later,
16, yep.
2016. So then you went to school in Iowa.
Yep.
For
NICC for dairy science.
Okay.
And
because you still want to be a dairy farmer.
Yep. People tell me I'm crazy for doing it, but yeah, I'm working towards it right now. I actually work for a dairy farm out in Cumberland area there. I do the Sunday chores, and Thursdays I go over there and help, and I get paid in calves. I'm up to 9 calves, and 3 of them are confirmed pregnant. So,
well, congratulations.
Just for the record, we are not milking cows at the old Buzzwoods farm.
There's probably not going to be one single cow stepping place on that besides beef cattle.
But when you graduated, you took a job was it in Iowa?
No, in Minnesota. I was in Melrose, Minnesota.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep. For
right along 94.
I was working for a company, and I was supposed to specialize in dairy robotics. So they were going to sent me to this training and everything. Well, then Melrose sent me to Wisconsin, or no, I worked out at Farm Systems, and the farms are getting smaller. There's not a whole lot out there anymore. So there was some days I didn't do a dang thing, and I get paid salary. So, and if I don't sell, and salary and commission. So if I didn't sell any parts, I got paid basically $2 that day.
Yeah.
So I said that's enough of that. Then I worked for a company out in Melrose, which they actually sent me down to Woodville, and the same thing. Well, they put me on hourly, but there was nothing going on hardly because they were just starting to expand, but they're at that point to where not a whole lot going on, a lot of talk. But so I said that's enough of that. So now I have a job at Baraboo Implement in Rice Lake. There, I'm a parts guy, and I farm on the side. So,
but you and your brother now have started.
Yep,
farming.
now
that's
we-
where Maassen
Bros.
farm comes
Yep.
in.
Yes.
So hay and corn right now.
What a story there.
What a story!
We'll get to that. I mean, that's the full circle thing here. We'll get to. But you guys, to go full circle, you guys have actually bought the dairy farm back.
Part of it.
Well, not the whole thing, but you've bought
The building and the houses.
buildings and the houses and some of the land.
40 acres.
Well, now, pretty soon will be 80.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So slowly you've gotten part of it back.
Eventually, I think the end goal is try to have original acres back.
Yep.
That would be ideal, but
That
only
costs
time
money.
can tell. Yes, time. Yep. It costs a lot of money.
I'm guessing they're not going to let them pay in calves.
They are jerseys, by the way, so that makes it even better.
So, and then Loren, you had bought some land back after you sold out and built your farm here.
Yeah, this 47 acres that I live on.
Yep.
We bought that back from Joe.
And you have cash crop and some cow calves. And,
I don't do any calf crop. I do all
Okay.
cow calf.
okay. How many cows do you have now?
I've got 35 head of cows.
Okay.
Just sold all the steers and heifers,
Yeah, they just
The-
actually,
calves.
they were supposed to go yesterday, but they went. We had the snowstorm, so they went
Okay.
today and got them sold. And
Snowstorm.
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't real bad.
Just terrible.
We got an inch and a half.
But you guys got some cows on your place too.
Well, right now they're here.
They're here.
Okay. But your Maassen Bros farm has some cows
Yep.
as well.
Slowly starting.
Yeah, you guys need to merge all these.
Yeah, no, this spring, I was like to Dad, I just have a feeling. I think we should go to the auction barn today, Dad. And he's like, oh, okay. You know, I haven't been there in a while. And sure enough, there was 3 beef cows there. The only 3 there.
Heifers.
Or,
Not
yeah,
Heifers. They're heifers.
And I was like, yep, I want them. And we stayed around until they came in the ring, and I bought them. It's like, huh.
He did consult with me. He's like, you know, I think it'd be awesome if we can get cattle here. But I was a little me being I like cattle. You know, I'm the cattle guy. I'm the one who has to sort them all the time because he needs help. So I was like, you know, we're just starting out. Maybe we should wait, you know, a year or so we get our kind of roots dug in a little bit and maybe a little bit more capital on the back here. But all of a sudden, he came home. I get home. And there's cattle running out in the pasture. I was like, okay, either Dad bought those and they didn't get along with his cattle, or Colton bought them. Sure enough, Colton said, yeah, guess what I did today. And there we go. I'm glad he did it, though.
And then really glad, yeah, they're nice cattle. And then another thing I'm getting into is pig raising.
Dang pigs.
Slowly starting to get some pigs, and I went down south to Minnesota there, or southern Minnesota, and bought some crates to farrow them in, and just start selling feeder pigs too off the farm.
And I'm really into chickens too. You know, we might as well get them all in there. So
Yeah. By the way, if you need eggs, I've got chickens too.
we got eggs. We got lots of eggs for everybody.
So how do you chronologize all of that? That's you moved to Washington, you dairy farmed.
No, we moved to Wisconsin.
No, you moved
From what?
You moved.
You.
Out of Washington.
Yeah, Iowa to Washington to Wisconsin.
Dairy farmed.
Dairy farmed. What year did you get rid of doing dairy?
03.
It was the fall of 02. It was almost 03. But
Okay.
that's when we sold out.
And yeah, we sold the whole farm. I mean,
Everything.
Yeah.
See, Dave and Carol still owned the land and the buildings. And then Kathy and I owned all the cows and equipment at that time. And then, so we sold all the cows and equipment. It was actually a year later when all the land and everything got sold.
And then these 2 were born at that time.
Yes, these
Yeah.
were, yeah.
You worked other places for a while, and then did you build this place right away?
Yeah, in 03,
Okay.
we had the house built.
Okay. Yeah, the shop was later.
Shop-
Yeah.
The
Way
garage
later.
was later.
The shop was in 07.
Okay. Has it been that long?
Yeah.
no, it wasn't 07, Dad.
No,
It was 2014.
you're right.
7 years ago.
It's like, geez, I'm still.
That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm still in elementary. Yeah.
So is that when you started doing the manure injection?
No,
You already started that, hadn't you?
we started that in 05.
Okay. And for those of you that don't know what manure injection is, you guys do what?
We pump right from the manure pit. We run everything through a hose out to the field.
And then it gets
Injected it.
Integrated into the ground.
Yep.
and we do that because
Oh, it just
well, I mean you see manure trucks,
Spreaders, yeah.
spreaders. You know they drive all over the field.
Yeah.
They just spray it all over the place. Or you see
and the
manure.
roads.
Yeah.
Mostly roads.
And you see manure spreaders spread it all over the field. What's the advantage of?
the biggest reason why I started this is because it puts nutrients right into the ground, and you lose so much less nutrients when you put it right into the ground
Because if
than
you
if you
spray
spread it on top.
and because it evaporates.
It evaporates all the, a lot of your nitrogen will evaporate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another thing too, field compaction. You know, them tankers now, they're 9,000 gallons. Oh, there goes my phone.
Jeez.
There's a lot of compaction in the fields.
Where you're just driving one tractor.
Yeah, and then, you know, when we're done pumping the field, we'll have to reel up the hose with a tractor, but still, we're not pounding the same spot over and over again.
Going in and out of the same approaches and
Yep.
And it saves the roads too.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So, but there's also disadvantages to it too. You know,
Time consuming.
just like everything else.
Yep.
But yeah.
So you did that, and then then you decided to start a fabricating shop, and that's why this got built, correct?
Yep. In 2013, we decided to.
Well, 14. Well, we talked about it in 13, and then 14 we actually built the shop.
Okay, June 1 of 2014.
Wait, what was the time? When
We built the shop and started. I had a partner, Dan Sirianni, for a little while, who worked for me, and both of us. We did do a lot of fabricating at that time,
Yeah.
and but it's just
You guys all need something to do to pay for your farming habit.
yeah.
Pretty much. That's,
Basically, that's what it is.
yeah,
the moral of the
you're
story.
not wrong.
My manure pumping and the fabricating pays for my hobby, which is the cattle, and there's not much money in that.
The part-time farmers.
yeah, pretty much.
So you know, the definition of a hobby is something that you throw a lot of money at, but you don't make it back, right?
Yeah.
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 But I went for 2 or 3 years without any cows or anything, and I needed cattle.
And your kids kind of yearned for the farm life again. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the farm life, yeah, he's really big on that. He likes the cattle.
Yeah.
Well,
He likes the horsepower, the
the
tractor.
ever since 6th grade, I've been milking cows.
Yeah.
I mean, before
And
school,
Mitchell, we're
after
trying to figure out yet what he wants.
Yeah. We don't know yet.
school. He's in between everything.
Well, he's young. Well, you're all young, but
It's getting in sheep.
yeah.
It's the only thing we need left to make Old McDonald's farm here.
No sheep, no goats.
Range maggots, we call them. We don't need any range maggots here.
No offense to the sheep farmers.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't think you can go back from that one there.
So I guess my question is, I coached these two in football when I came back. Ted, how did you kind of get to meet Loren and the family?
Here we go.
Well, full disclosure, I grew up like less than a mile from where they're farm. I mean, the trucks went right by our house when they were pulling in. We knew they were coming and saw them, and there's a lot of stories between then, and we don't have to go into all that. The first time I met Loren, however, though, they had some fields that were behind our house, and they always used our driveway to go down to get to them. And I remember what happened, but I don't remember why it happened.
Well,
My dad was always good to stop Loren if they were chopping or whatever they were raking hay, whatever they were doing. He could convince Loren to stop and have a beer. And
it usually ended up about 9, 10 o'clock at night before I left. I remember, so I met your mom, and I think Jason was there.
okay, could
I
be.
can't remember. He might have went in the house, and then all of a sudden you pulled up. You just got done with football practice.
Okay.
And here comes this big old kid. He's like, holy. I was on the farm all in.
Okay.
What I did is I reached around to shake your hand, and my feet came off the clutch and the brakes.
Remember, it tested my agility.
Oh, yeah. The hay wagon I had behind me almost went right over top of it.
Yeah.
And it probably would have hurt the wagon more than it would have hurt that.
So that was literally the first 30 seconds of me knowing you.
Yep.
Well, we've all been close for
Oh, yeah.
since whenever.
Oh,
Yeah,
we used
yeah.
to have good times in the barn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember. I babysat you. I don't think I babysat
Yeah,
you. Maybe.
yeah.
I
Oh,
remember.
probably both.
I've pushed one of you. Must have been you to the house in a wheelbarrow because you were sleeping.
Probably. I am good at doing that.
I remember
yeah.
babysitting Austin and Mitchell's Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've known these guys since they were all.
And I remember babysitting Caleb
Yeah.
once or twice. And
Yeah, I remember we went a couple times too when you guys lived in the house that we're living in.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I remember going and babysitting Caleb and
Yep.
and I still probably can't beat him in Uno. I mean, he was only like 8, 9 years old. And every game we played,
Yeah.
crazy.
oh boy.
I guess I have an off-the-wall question. No, I'm a big farm guy. Big wrencher. Love getting my hands dirty. So I'm seeing you got John Deere, you got international stuff. You don't usually see people have both in one shop. So you have an international hat on.
Yep, international hat, international shirt, and then underneath is the international.
But he also sells international parts. So
Yeah.
it's kinda-
And New Holland, New Holland
So,
International.
do you have a brand, or do you just go whichever's
No.
fastest?
Actually, whatever is a good deal.
Okay.
We've ran John Deere's for pumping, and then now we got 2 New Hollands. You know, it's
You have two?
we got 2 now.
I
a
prefer
bigger one.
I prefer the red and blue. Me personally.
Honestly, the only reason why we have John Deere for, like, I call it the applicating tractor. It's a
Yep.
tractor that pulls the
Yeah, you got to explain
toolbar.
this. I don't know.
There's hose that follows us when we're pumping manure, and then we have an applicating tractor with the applicator on it.
Okay.
That puts it in the ground. Really, the only reason why we go with Deere is because their auto steer and mapping for fields is it's pretty good. I mean,
Okay.
and it works with all the farms that we go to because they already have it. So as soon as we get done with the field, the computer and the tractor will send it to the cloud, and it'll tell us what gallons we pumped, you know, the field size and stuff like that. So
So do you guys kind of? I mean, because there's a John Deere dealership. I mean, within 5 miles of here,
Yep.
and you know you're the closest IH dealer.
Well,
St. Croix Falls.
St. Croix Fall. I mean, it's a horse
Kind of a
apiece
horse apiece.
because it's a half hour either way.
But there's also a John Deere dealership in Cameron.
yes, there is.
So I mean, I guess I've always kind of thought that
wherever the closest dealership
Dealer
is,
is
that's
kinda
what
where
people.
everybody is.
Yeah.
And that is very true. 'Cause
Is it?
That's why in Rice Lake there's a lot of international New Holland tractors because that's
But-
what's right there.
but there's also a lot of Deere because
Yeah.
because
Tractor Central
Cameron's
there,
right
which
there.
was like when I was young, there was an Alice dealer right
Just
in
down the road
Comstock,
over
so there was a
there.
lot of Alice.
There was a
Chalmers
lot,
tackle
yeah, I was gonna
tractors.
bring that
and there
up.
still is really. I mean, you still see them around.
to this day, you know, every once in a while I'll get an Alice in here and it'll still have the Benz Motors
Okay,
sticker
yeah.
on it.
And you know how fun it is trying to find parts for them? Guess who gets to do that?
Just here last spring, the neighbor here brought his little Alice over, and there's a big old Benz.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, one of the farms I work for right now, that's basically all of his tractors. He finally upgraded one tractor, but everything else has the Benz motor stickers
Yeah.
on them. So
There's a lot of farmers back in that era
that
that
had.
used Benz motors.
So not to get too personal with all you guys, but I mean, you guys all, and I don't know if you did this by accident or if it just kind of the way the world pulled you all, but you guys all have careers right now that complement each other.
Pretty
you all have
much.
the same
Yeah.
bad habit with farming. But you all have a career that complement. I mean, is there an end goal to all this? Is there a, is there a conglomeration here with four Maassen?
And an S corp, maybe that
Yeah.
has a bunch of LLCs underneath it.
I guess honestly we've never probably looked at it that way.
No.
It's just something
I mean, we all have our personal goals, but
we all kind of
Big
have the
picture.
same niche, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, we all
Yeah.
kind of work
big
together.
picture is if we can basically stay in it all together, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
we can hang on, we're going to keep going. So,
I guess I never thought of it that
yeah,
way.
I never.
That's a good
And
point.
neither have I until like right now.
I'm glad you can think of that.
We're gonna start a new business tonight, folks.
Career counseling.
There we go.
Oh. Well, that's probably a good
Yeah.
point to end. Thank you guys for having us out on the farm. For me, that knows literally nothing, and no offense, because my dad did own a farm. I should probably should know some things, but I don't. Thanks again for kind of educating us and just telling us your story. I think that's the coolest thing that we do is when we get to go out and meet people and kind of see how it all works. And I enjoy seeing my ex-players and old players like be able to be successful in new adventures and stuff. And honestly, it's really cool to everything you guys are doing. So thanks again for having us.
No,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah. So Trent and Tadd, Farmers Insurance, Nihus Agency.
Tad Peterson, LakePlace.com, Brothers Realty.
Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. We'll have more videos coming out every week. So thanks again, guys. Back. It's just me and Colton now. Tad had this great idea because I'm so good with tools and know what I'm doing that we picked out 5 tools to figure out what they are and honestly how to use them. Colton's here. He's going to be the judge. They did give me one softball. I think I know that one. Everything else looks a little foreign. We're gonna work left to right here. So, this definitely checks the batteries. No,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
it do?
So it's a multimeter. Here, why don't you flip it over so you can turn the screen. So yeah, like when I get to a tractor, say it don't start, I flip it on and it'll tell me the volts of the battery or the volts going to the starter. So yes.
So if I hit these together, like when you have when you're jumping your car, there's going to be a spark or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
No fun then. No fun then. All right.
So yeah, I'll
Yeah, one
I'll
for
give you
one.
that one.
All right. This looks like something you castrate cattle with, but I'm guessing that's not it. I don't know what the proper name. I'm sure you hook these onto filters or something, and you can get them off.
Yep, that's exactly. It's a filter wrench, and it's adjustable. So you got your bigger filters and your smaller. Or actually, that's bigger. They're smaller.
I'm gonna be a wrencher after this. It'd be great if they just labeled these things.
Well, there's a part number on it.
Yeah, I see that. That does not help. I don't know if you have to clean out any lines that are like gunky.
No.
Damn it.
So this is a 90-degree O-ring pick.
Oh, okay.
So when you're sitting at the bottom of the transmission and you have an O-ring that's, you got to get out of the groove, that little guy right there will pick it out and rip it out.
All right.
So here's your softball one. So
Softball.
if you screw up this one, you're
This is a needle nose pliers.
there. You go.
You always want to make sure they have rubber at the end in case you put them into something so you don't get electrocuted.
That's very smart. Yes.
Yep. It's one thing that Randy did teach me as a kid. I'm not 100% sure what the hell this is. I have no idea.
Just take a guess.
Tweezers? The big tweezers?
No.
What do we do with this?
So you see here on the end, there's little.
Yep.
I don't know. The camera probably can't see it, but there's little holes there. Mm-hmm. It's for snap rings, getting them. So like when I do transmissions, there's a lot of snap rings that holds clutch packs together and springs and whatnot. Well, you got to get the snap ring off to disassemble
Okay.
clutch pack or whatever. So there's a snap ring in there, and you go like that, and it opens, and it comes out of the groove.
Huh.
So it's snap ring pliers.
All right. So I went 3 for 5.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I believe that's a passing grade in
Yep.
most educational systems, so I feel pretty good about myself.
In high school, I was always a C average student.
Yeah, that's pretty good. C's get degrees, boys and
They
girls.
do.
So, all right. Well, thanks again, guys. Like and subscribe if you guys want to see me keep doing this. Put a comment below, and I can come out to Maassen Farm and just go around the entire shop and figure out what tools are. All right. See you guys.